Good evening. This is Big Dave from WDRB, the sound of the community. We're here with the Rules to the Game show. We're going to talk to a couple of people today. We're not going to disclose no names or anything for the security purposes and the reasons, you know what I'm saying? But I have a young man that I've worked with for about 10 years and his mother here. And we're going to be talking today about kids and is it necessary for them to be on meds and how they get there, you know what I'm saying? And we got it hands-on here with the mother and the son, you know what I'm saying? This young man I've been working with for 10 years. The first incident that I recall was when he got real upset about going to a car show. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then he got real upset and was actually fighting his mama, you know what I'm saying? So I was telling her, look, you need to do one or two things, either beat his behind or call the police. She did both. The police took him to the hospital and found out that he was over-meded. Whose fault is that? You know what I'm saying? He's over-meded and he's got the medicine that he took the side effect made him really aggressive. So again, it shocked me because we had to go to court and they had to change stuff all the way over, you know what I'm saying? So I want to hear from the young man first. How do you feel about having to take meds to control you? Do you feel like you could channel enough to control yourself in what you do?
This is what I think about kids who take meds.
Okay.
Because you know I take meds. But I don't really take them no more because I feel like you don't need them. You don't need meds to control your actions. You control your own actions. You can take your medicine and still go kick a door. You still can go rob somebody. You still can do something while you're on that medicine. Medicine does not control your actions. It just slow your brain down. It just help you think more.
How do you feel about what you need to do to channel that activity? You know what I'm saying? As far as you say on your meds, you can control the way you act and what you do. So if we don't want you to get in trouble and you don't need to get in trouble, what do you think you need to do to channel that energy to do something positive so you won't be kicking in no doors or doing nothing negative like that? Because it has to be, if you can control that, something is triggering you to go south other than going the right way.
Yeah. I mean, to control all that built up energy, I just gotta say, find something you like to do and put your mind to it. Like, I like working for you, working on cars. I like working on cars. That's something I like doing, and I have fun. You feel?
Okay, good. With that being said, you're a very smart guy, and I know that. I've learned stuff from you just watching you, and I know whatever it is you want to do in life, that you be really good at it. I seen you dribble a basketball. I seen whatever you know what I'm saying? I done seen you get down and made the honor roll just to prove to me that you could make the honor roll. So that's saying a lot to me, man. You know what I'm saying? When you get down like that. So you got the knowledge. You just got to find a way to, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be glad for you to come up there and work with me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need the extra activity. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to be in a safe surroundings, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I want to hear from your mom and let her tell me what she think about what you're doing and you know what I'm saying? And I want you to know you need to obey your mom no matter what. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean you soft or nothing like that. It makes you cool, you know what I mean? Because you don't want nobody else to disrespect your mom.
Right.
So you shouldn't. So nobody else will get that idea that if you do it, they gonna automatically do it. You know what I'm saying? What you got to say to what we're talking about, Mom?
Well, I feel like mental illness is a very serious thing in the black community. You know, it's so many of our kids being diagnosed that shouldn't be diagnosed because there is nothing wrong, but some of the doctors don't want to take the time out to do the research and the study. Now, with my child, he's supposedly be diagnosed with ADHD, ADD, ODD, aggressive behaviors, and bipolar. At one time, he was getting medication from the doctor's office, he was getting medicine from the therapist until I did an involuntary commitment and had him committed in the hospital, that the doctor reached out to me and told me that he was being overdosed with medicine coming from the doctor's office and coming from the psychiatrist. So, I feel like if a child is going to be on medication, it needs to be the right medication and not overdosed. Because, he stayed druggy all the time. He slept all the time. He had aggressive behaviors, to the roof where it was causing physical confrontation between him and I. It is just hard to deal with someone with mental issues, and then sometimes you feel like, is my child really what they say he is, or is they just diagnosing him just to diagnose him?
I feel you.
I don't really believe in all that.
I believe you too. I don't either. That's my personal opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? But you still have to show and prove that you can control you and your actions, other than somebody saying you need to take this pill right here, because every drug, in my opinion, has a side effect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just have a side effect. That's the only thing meds give you. It is not finna control your brain, not finna control your actions, your emotions, none of that.
Right.
That's why I feel like people don't really need to take meds.
Okay. So I want to hear from another point of view with the Mr. Court Counselor. If
Well, I'm not a court counselor, but I do work in the community. I have worked with probably over 1,000 kids in 13 years. I have worked with some kids that have some mental issues that have to have medicine working with me. I've seen some cases that some kids don't need the medicine, but I've seen some cases that some kids need it. And I think what the young man was saying is that, yeah, he might not, a lot of that medication, it triggers something.
Right.
Me working with some kids, in the past, when they were on a meds, you couldn't really get no work out of them.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they was always down.
Right.
And I felt like sometimes when they wasn't on their meds, they were basically working better than they was when they was on the meds. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's different. I think it's different things. Basically when people on medication, some people need it and some people don't. I'm not an advocate to say, and I'm not a psychologist to say, okay, that kid or that individual needs that medication. But sometimes they do. But it's basically on the individual.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Now, what the young man is saying is that, and I know not to say, and I know the young man, I don't think he needed it.
Right.
Personally. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I think a lot of his, and I could be wrong, and I have worked with kids that a lot of that anger issues come from,
something
home,
else.
something that's happened at home as well.
Right.
And they might not have that. And I know his mom love him to death. But
Right, she does.
A lot of kids don't have that love at home.
That's right.
And if you don't have love at home, you're gonna go out and do some crazy stuff.
Right.
You're gonna go out and probably kick in some doors or try to do some things too. And you want that love from your homeboys. You want that love from your girlfriend. To impress them.
Right.
That's why they go out and do that type of stuff. But as far as medication wise, Dave, it's an individual thing with me.
Right.
You feel
Me
what I'm
too.
saying?
Because I've seen this young man off his meds and on his meds. Now when he's with me, he's working on those cars. So when he's off his meds, he's good because he's channeling that energy on something that he really likes, and he does good. You know what I'm saying? But he might do something that his mother don't want him to do, so she'll try to discipline him, and that's when he goes south, and they feel like he needs to take a pill. But I seen him on his pill, and at the time I saw him on his pill. When I first noticed it, he was locked up. I went to go see him, and when he was walking up to me, I like, wow, bro, you on your meds, ain't you? Because he looked like he was trapped inside of his body and trying to get out. Like, wow, I don't think that's for you. You know what I'm saying? So it made me feel some sort of way, like, how our kids being diagnosed. You know what I'm saying? What is it?
That's what his mom said though. A lot of these doctors are misdiagnosing these kids.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they don't want to take the time, especially with our community.
Right.
They don't want to take the time out and diagnose them the right way. They just want to basically write a prescription and get them out their office.
Right. But see, I feel like we as a community need to take control and take charge on that too. Because when we was coming up, we had recreation centers, we had different activities that we stayed into challenging that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like if I was a kid back then and somebody diagnosed me, they probably diagnosed me as bipolar and all that kind of stuff too. Mm-hmm. But it was different ways of growing up. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time I got in a fight in school. You know what I'm saying? On the way home, I stopped by the candy lady's house. She heard about it. I got a butt whooping from her. You know what I'm saying? When I got home, I got a butt whooping from the babysitter that was keeping us. Then I got a butt whooping from mama when she got home. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But we don't have that in the community like that no more. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about our community now, it's not back then. You're right. You got a butt whooping from your neighbor. You got a butt whooping from your auntie. You got a butt whooping from whoever was in the house. Right.
Right.
And the community raised, basically, it was a community thing raising our kids.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody is more separated, more divided.
Right.
So until we get to the point that we can all come together and be together like it was back then, he's still gonna have these kids out here on this medication.
Right.
And committing crime. And a lot of times I look at it too, and I could be wrong, is that I always say my whole thing is when my pops died when I was 15, right?
Right.
And I was a daddy's boy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pops had me in sports, and my pops died in a car wreck instantly. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as I turned 16 and 17, my mom tried to raise me, right?
Right.
But things that she was trying to explain to me, I didn't really receive it because she was a woman.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I would receive it better coming from a male.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So like I always say, a woman can't raise, and I'm not trying to say they can't, because a lot of women have done it.
Right.
Raise, but a woman can't teach a male how to be a man.
Exactly.
Just like a man can't teach a woman how to be a woman.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? And I think, dude, that's the issue about in our community. They taking our males and these fathers out these kids' lives.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I believe that, and this is where, bro, you need to be paying attention on how this is, because I know at some point you're probably gonna want to have a family. You're probably gonna want to, you know what I'm saying, raise a son. You know what I'm saying? Would you want your son to go through the same trials and tribulations you have been? Would you want your son to experience the stuff you've experienced?
No, I wouldn't want my son to go through the stuff I've been through.
Okay. Well, see, that's where you got to take charge now and line yourself up a certain type of way, because, baby, you're getting older. You know what I'm saying? When I met you, you was 11?
Yeah, I was a legit.
Yeah, now you're 19 now, right? Okay. You're a man now. You know what I'm saying? Like you telling me today, it ain't no more juvenile jail for you. You know what I'm saying? It's big boy stuff now. You know what I'm saying? This is where it is. This is where your life really starts, which way you going with it. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to stay on the straight and narrow, you got to start practicing straight and narrow stuff. You feel me? If you like the cars, you want to do the cars, let's get serious about the cars. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to do that for like 2 weeks and then you got to do something else. You know what I'm saying? You got to channel your life in the way you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Because if Dave did everything he just wanted to do when he wanted to do, they'd be messed up right now.